Hello guys, I'm Clean Living Mom. I've got my tumbler here today. Welcome to Wine Wednesday, where we wine and then refine our thinking. Okay, today's glass of clean organic crafted wine comes from, back that glass up, I've got it the wrong way, there it is. Her name is Meredith, just like me, so go check her out. This is called The Resident, like the TV show. Anyone feel me? Okay. It's a Pinot Noir and may or may not have been drinking a little bit of this before this video. I typically don't like these because they're like sweeter and they're not as bold and they're not as like dry, you know? But I was very surprised that I actually have liked this one here a lot more than, yes, as I said. Really not sweet. Really, I don't know the, like terminology, but it's very fruit forward and smooth and very easy to drink. Wasn't like too overwhelmingly like, wow, that's really bold, you know? It was just enough where it was good in between. Maybe this is a good start to a red if you aren't super familiar with reds and you don't like the really bold flavors. Maybe this is a good one to try. All right, there's my assessment. There we go. Back that glass up. It's just a fun name to say. Okay, here we go. Today we're whining, guys, about supplements. Okay, first the whining. Why is it so hard to find like a good supplement brand that you know is actually doing something? And oh my gosh, there's so many brands. And you go to the grocery store and it's this overwhelming mess of looking at the shelves and being like, which brand do I choose? And there's like 50 different ones and they're all saying that they do certain things. And it's like, I don't even know what these are. Like here's a, zinc, and here's a B12, and here's a CoQ12 juice, and that's gonna help with acne, and this one helps with this, and it's just this mess of so many different brands, and some of the labels look really, naturey and green, and it's like, oh yes, you'd think that would be good, and then you research it more and you're like, just kidding, it's crap, right? So which brand do you choose? Also, they're crazy overpriced, and it's like, what supplements are you even supposed to be taking? Because I mean, like, it's just this like, it's like this gray area of just like, should I be taking them? I feel like, maybe a lot of us have grown up taking a multivitamin. Maybe we should be doing that, Maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. Probiotics, and you get into that whole thing. Which ones actually work? Do you actually feel something when you take these? Are you supposed to feel different? What's vitamin D supplements? How are those better than others? There's just so many questions. And I know I get overwhelmed going to the grocery store. Well, I used to before I researched all of it and ditched all of them. But, no. But it's just overwhelming, I don't know about you, but I have felt overwhelmed looking in the store and being like, all these brands look the same. I don't really know what the difference is between any of them. Which one's better than which? How do I even research that? Okay, so there we go. There's the whining. It was real short and sweet. We're going to try to make this video not as long because my lessons have been too long. I'm sorry. I just go on and on. I would like to start this out by clearing up the misconception that you have to be on some sort of supplement, specifically a multivitamin. I think that a lot of people think, oh yeah, multivitamin, that's really good, and you need to be on one of those. I would say, typically speaking, if you are a healthy person and you don't have any deficiencies and that you know of, obviously, unless your doctor is working with you and saying something different, if you're a healthy person, honestly, the best source of vitamins and minerals and nutrients is food. Not even organic food, just good, healthy, clean food, right? So eating a cleaner diet of lean proteins, fruits, vegetables, etc. It's great if you can do organic, but if you can't, it's still better to just be eating whole foods as much as possible. That is the best source for making sure that your body is getting the right amount of nutrients. It's in the best form. It's easiest for your body to break it down, and you're making sure that that way you're not overdosing on one particular thing, right? It's very difficult to do that when you're eating just food and you're having it be from your main source, is just from your food. I will caveat that by saying, however, I do understand that children, it is harder to get them to eat a well-balanced diet as it is for an adult, obviously. So more than adults having a multivitamin, that would be the main source for adults that I would say just eat a well-balanced diet and you don't need a multivitamin. But if you, for children, if you're finding it more difficult, if you have a child and they're not eating a more well-balanced diet, I do understand more so a need for that, or a desire to have something additional to just add in extra. However, I would strongly encourage still not relying on that solely, and to really, really try to give as many whole foods to your kids as possible. Anyway, so, okay, number one, here's the thing to know about supplements. Many third-party tests have actually showed that many supplements do not actually contain the vitamins and minerals and such in them as they say they do. Vitamins and minerals and whatnot are not actually regulated by the FDA. They are their own thing. Under really nothing, they're not regulated. There's no one over them. No, sort of though. The FDA has very little power over this. Technically, because it's not regulated as a drug, it is something different than a drug. Just know that there's very little regulation. But there are a couple third-party places you can look up, because that's a great thing to look up, is, check on Consumer Labs, I think it's called. I'll link below. Also the NSF, I want to say. I really should have looked this up before this video. Okay, anyway. There's also the UPC, I want to say, is what it's called. This is going to be embarrassing if I'll put it here of what it's really called, okay? Because I know I'm butchering, most likely. Anyway, okay, those are the 3 different top ones that I know of. That my personal one that I use the most is the Consumer Lab one. I have to pay for it, which is a bummer, but I really like that one. They do like a lot of different tests for contaminations, also for just, yes, this contained the, 50 milligrams that it said it did of such and such. So that's kind of cool. Look for something like that. Look for the clinical trials done on people. It's another thing that's that has not really been done, is there aren't a lot of studies that back up. Nutrition is just something that's we don't do a lot of studies on that. I wonder why, right? Because we're going to find that food actually is, and eating certain foods is kind of a cure for and or the best prevention for getting sick. That would go against Big Pharma's agenda. So, there are some studies, but you're gonna be hard pressed to really find a lot, right? And there's just a lot of supplements that are being sold that say, oh, this helps with this, but there's really no science to actually back that up, right? So something to look for, clinical trials actually done on people. Okay, the other one is third-party tests done on it, both for safety and also like long-term, and also contaminations. Okay, so a company that's willing to give you a COA, which is a certificate of analysis, to show that it meets, i.e. California Prop 65 limits. It's beneath that for containing heavy metals. That is really good, and that's really transparent. If they're willing to share that with you, that is very, very promising. So what was the other one? Also, just that they're sharing the ingredients and being transparent about the sourcing. That is really huge. So just to recap here, whole food is the best way to get your vitamins, nutrients, etc. If you are looking for some sort of a supplement, I would highly, highly recommend looking for ones that are willing to give their COAs, have done extensive safety testings, have done actual clinical testings on humans, like of their product, long-term especially, is great. Any kind of third-party verifications that can back up, i.e. the Consumer Labs or things like that, that can back up that their, product does in fact contain what it says it does. Transparency from the company overall on the ingredients and where they source from. All of those things would be the top things that I'd be looking at when looking for brands. Typically, those are not the ones found in the store, not always, but I tend to stay away from those just because I find that they typically aren't as transparent. But yeah, okay, well, this has been fun. There's just a little tidbit for you on that. The never-ending journey of trying to decide what supplements to take or put in your smoothie or take in the morning or add to your coffee or put in your child's juice. It's fun. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. Comment below with any questions you have or anything you wanted clarification on or something maybe that I missed and your favorite brands that you use. Okay.